Salve to omnes! In this lesson, we will learn about partitive and objective genitives, as well as personal pronouns. Before watching this video, please read pages 83 through 88 in your textbook. This lesson will cover the following topics: genitive case review, partitive genitives, objective genitives, and personal pronouns. Before we learn new uses of the genitive case, let's review the basics. Remember that the genitive case primarily expresses possession. Anytime you come across a noun in the genitive case, whatever function it may be serving in the sentence, it is best to initially translate it with the word of, and as we will see, occasionally for. So if you came across the phrase libri poetarum, it would be best to translate it, at least at first, books of the poets. The genitive case also features in the lemma of any given noun and communicates a noun's stem used in oblique or non-nominative cases, as in ager, agri. Below are the endings of the genitive case in the first and second declensions, which we have already learned. The first new usage of the genitive case that we will learn in this video is the partitive genitive. The word partitive comes from the Latin word pars partus, which means part, and partitive genitives express the whole from which a part is taken. Just like I said before, anytime you come across a genitive, you should try translating it with the word of at first, and partitive genitives are no different. So, multi Graecorum is many of the Greeks, with Graecorum being our partitive genitive. It is the whole from which multi is taken. Pauci saxorum would translate to a few of the rocks. Again, with saxorum being the whole from which the part, pauci, is taken, and thus is a partitive genitive. Quator agricolarum would translate to four of the farmers. For is the part, and agricolarum, our partitive genitive, is the whole from which it is taken. The second special use of the genitive case that we will learn in this video is the objective genitive. Some nouns and adjectives, especially those related to emotion and cognition, can take objects, and those objects are always in the genitive case. Objective genitives are best translated with the English words of and occasionally for, just like any other genitive noun. Some examples. Metus equorum would translate to fear of horses. Here, equorum is the object of the word fear, which, although a noun, has a verbal sense to it. So equorum would be our objective genitive. Desiderium bonorum would translate to desire for good things. Here, desire is a noun that has a verbal sense to it, so its object, bonorum, is in the genitive case, and is thus an objective genitive. Studium librorum would translate to zeal for books. Again, zeal has a sort of emotional or cognitive sense to it, so the object of that zeal, librorum, is in the genitive case, and is thus an objective genitive. Now let's do a few practice sentences. Multae illarum puellarum hic sunt. How would you translate this sentence into English? Many of those girls are here. Excellent. In this case, illarum puellarum is our partitive genitive. It is expressing the whole from which multi, a part, is sourced. Let's try another one. How would you translate odium poetarum bonum non est? Hatred of or for poets is not good. Excellent. Here, the noun odium, hatred, has a verbal sense to it. Thus, it can take an object, and that object will be in the genitive case. So, poetarum is an objective genitive. Let's shift gears a bit and talk personal pronouns. In English, these words are I, me, us, and you. In Latin, they are ego, mei, mihi, me, nos, nostri, nostrum, nobis, nos, nobis, tu, tui, tibi, te, vos, vestri, vestrum, vobis, vos, vobis. We've seen in Latin that personal pronouns are often not expressed in the nominative case, since all finite verbs inherently communicate their subject. When nominative personal pronouns such as ego, nos, tu, and vos are expressed, this is for emphasis and clarity. This is also true of possessive adjectives, meus, tuus, noster, and vester in all cases. Speaking of possessive adjectives, remember that Latin uses these instead of genitives to express the words my, our, and your. The genitives of the personal pronouns ego, nos, tu, and vos, then, are reserved for special uses of the genitive we learned in this video, partitive and objective genitives. For some reason, there are separate forms for the partitive and objective genitives in the first and second plural pronouns. Mei, nostri, tui, vestri are used for objective genitives, and mei, nostrum, tui, vestrum are used for partitive genitives. One last weird rule. When the preposition cum is applied to any ablative personal pronoun, it forms a compound word in which the personal pronoun comes first, as in mecum, tecum, nobiscum, and vobiscum. Let's do a few more practice sentences before ending this video. How would you translate tu, non ego, hos pueros docebis? You, not I, will teach these boys. Excellent. In this case, tu and ego are expressed for clarity. Let's do another one. Cura mecum ad oppidum. How would you translate this sentence? Run with me to town. Excellent. Here we have one of those compounds with cum, mecum. Congratulations! Now you know 2 more uses of the genitive case, and finally we can express personal pronouns in Latin. Remember, anytime you come across a noun in the genitive case, try translating it with the word of and you'll probably be okay. With that said, voileta!